morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be. So, thanks to O'Reilly's Auto Parts, I paid for overnight shipping on an axle, and they sent it ground. So my Subaru looks like that. That was my plan today, was to work on my Subaru. I had everything pulled yesterday, realized they also gave me the wrong U-joints, and I didn't feel like dealing with the locked in U-joints and pressing them out and sanding down and stuff like that right now. So I opted just to buy a new drive shaft with replaceable U-joints, and then this other one I will work on. So since O'Reilly's hosed me on $70 for shipping and didn't send it, I'm gonna do something different today. So we wanted to get rid of this ugly piece of crap tree. It's just nasty and horrible, and I don't like it and hate everything about it. It's like a weed / tree, and it just sucks. So putting in this maple, it's actually going to be a, what is it? It is, I have it in my head, Pacific Sunset maple. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm going to put Pacific Sunset maple in. I went through and I took some paint, and it's a 25 radius roughly max spread on them. So I went 15 feet out, so it was a 30-foot diameter. And so I went 15 feet just to give a little plus or minus. That'll give plenty of growth up, which is nice because it's going right into, for some reason, the grass there was a whole bunch of crabgrass or something, and it's all, the weed and feed's killing it. So the bonus is this is going to get rid of that. It's going to go there. So I'm going to put it there. I should have some extra trout from like last year or 2 years ago that got freezer. I got left in the freezer, so now it's just an archaeological dig, and I'm going to go grab it, and those will go down below it just to give it a little bit of fertilizer to eat through as it grows right off the bat. So we'll do that, and then I'm going to cut that tree down and get rid of it and burn out the stump so I don't have to deal with that stump, and then I will fill in that hole and grass will grow over the top of it, and there won't be any more worries anymore. So that's where I'm at now with this whole scenario. Here we go. Let's go on this adventure together. As usual, there's going to be a lot of speed up through these videos. It's just kind of showing you the process as we go. So there's going to be a whole lot of digging and a whole lot of moving. So here we go. All right. Time is 12:15. I've got an hour and some change to get this done before the sprinklers start turning on. All this scrap I'm putting in the backyard. I got some holes to fill in back there with stuff, so I'm just going to put it back there, let it hopefully kick in and grow a little bit. About right. This way a little bit. We got 21-ish, 23-ish, 4-ish. Call that good enough. The plan is just let the grass grow back into it, but right now I don't want it to compete. So I'll let it do its thing, let the grass grow in, and then after that I'll just keep it. I'll add dirt to this. Whatever dirt I pull out that doesn't fit, it's just gonna stay here. But the grass is just gonna let it grow back in. I forgot to clear the nozzle on this. God dang it. Come on now. Crap. I'll fix that later. As you saw here previously, I was going through and measuring it out. I was just trying to get it somewhat centered. Again, I don't have a clue why I did that. It doesn't really matter. I could have put it anywhere in the hole, but it just made me feel better. No wonder this grass is struggling over here. It's so dry down below here no matter what. Close to 15 inches or so. Where am I at here? So the bucket's 15 inches. Yep, we're good. Like 16 or so. Right back. Got some salmon. I'm gonna say some duck legs out of the archaeological, or trout, and some duck legs out of the archaeological dig. Not salmon. So we're just finishing this up. We're going to go ahead and put in our fertilizer, also known as duck legs and trout, and then go ahead and pull this out of its bucket and container. Break up the bottom roots. I was going to break up the side roots, but I just didn't. I don't like doing that. It's kind of hard. I read the instructions to make sure I was planting it properly, and I didn't need to keep it above or below or anything like that. And so added in some dirt, and then I'm going to add in some water, or start watering now, so that way the dirt starts settling a lot easier. Alright, I'm just gonna get this really wet so we get plenty of water on it. Mainly so that way the ground around it will get wet again. I don't know why. I know it's been hot, but my sprinklers have been running. So I don't know why it's struggling. I need to look at my sprinklers too. I know I broke that sprinkler. It works, but it goes around in circles too far, and I don't know how to fix it. I'll let that soak in for a minute. Over here to the dog water. Outstanding. So what we're gonna do is that tree's coming down. I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna finish getting a couple things out of my truck. Pull my truck down once I fall it, just to make sure I don't mess it up, just in case. But I'll fall it, and I'll just load everything into the back of my truck. I'll leave the big logs here so that way I can use it to burn down that stump when the stump's ready to be burned. Well, it's that time now, so we're gonna go ahead and start cutting this down. I ended up using my crappy Ryobi chainsaw. I don't know why. It doesn't have the right blade on it, or right chain on it. I mean, the chain will work, but I could have rolled out the big one. Should have pulled out my big one, the falling one that I got from my grandfather. But I use this one, so it'll get the job done, as you'll see. So the tree's down, and now we're just going to go ahead and start limiting it up and start breaking it down. So from here, it's just going to be a whole lot of chainsawing for a little while, and then some carrying it around. Once I get to that point, we'll go ahead and move the truck and get it all loaded up, and you'll see that as well. Really, it's just a matter of going and working your way down the line, and you know, breaking it down as you want to go. Usually I just start going all the way up until things just start getting a little too heavy on the branches, so then I'll wait, so that way I'm not having any, none of my chains are getting all dragged up on it. So I'll just keep going, and I try to keep a pile going. It just makes it a little easier instead of having it all laying there and then you're stepping on it and possibility of tripping while you're moving, and then chainsaw's running. This chainsaw, the blade stops. On my grandfather's chainsaw, it's old enough that the chain just keeps moving, especially since it needs to be adjusted. But God, it's so old, it's just, you know, I don't know. I'm not really into adjusting it, so. Sorry about that. I had to go through and actually let you guys hear that chainsaw. Like I said, it needs a little adjusting the carb. I just worry that if I go in and adjusting it, it's just gonna break. So right now it works. A little starter fluid, and it'll get it going. So this is my grandfather's old chainsaw. It's old. It's all metal. No safety. No nothing. You get hit with it, you're done unless you let go and it turns off on its own. So it's kind of the bonus right now, is that it kind of turns off on its own. It does have a new bar on it, just because the old bar that was on there was an original one, and it was a 32, and it made the chains like $90 a piece, and I was not willing to pay like $90 a piece for the chains, and they had to be special ordered because of the size they were. And the teeth size it was, so I just couldn't do it. So UPS came, dropped off my LED lights, so took those, and right here I'm just making a pile, still making piles, just breaking it through and breaking it down. Oh, gotta love iPhones and the heat sensor, which is great. I mean, I love it, don't get me wrong, but I had this all set up to video me coming back and throwing everything over. That didn't happen. So anyways, so there's half of it right now. It's there. Goats are gonna chew on it a little bit, but they don't like this tree too much. So I don't know why they're gonna chew on it, but we'll see. If they chew on it, great. If they don't, that's fine too. I don't care. It'll all burn once the burn ban's up. So once we're back into some actual weather where I can burn would be great. So all right, well, there we are, just checking in. So let's see here, getting ready to start burning out this thing. It's gonna take a while, so I put some charcoal in there, a little bit of fluid to start it. I'm gonna take the stump that was on there and put it on top of it as a block, so that we can start drying out, because it's gonna have to dry out. So that's where we're at. Probably should move things that are burnable away from it, huh? There's the final pile. So I had to rescue a goldfish. I was letting it run and it got out. So there's the final pile. It's gonna come over here. So, all right. So what we're gonna do here today is I'm gonna trim up all these trees. I'm gonna go through, I end up trimming up all the jumpers, sprouts, whatever the hell you call them. Bad word, my bad. And then also the snowball tree, I'm gonna take it into like 3 main bunches, or maybe like 5 main branches, and then let it kind of grow out and do its thing from there and keep it trimmed up, just to make it a little nicer, a little less cumbersome looking. So that's what we're doing. So as we get going here, this thing puts up a pretty big fight just because it's never really been trimmed. There's been a few spots where it's been trimmed, but it looks like it's probably more out of fixing it than trimming it. It's something broke, or and they went and fixed it. So there's a whole, with it being a bush, it grows in and out of itself. So I'm just pulling and yanking and trying to get it to go. Last time I did a few tree branches on this and did the same thing, and it was just a few days of it looking a little wilted, and then it was back to normal. I just think it just had to bounce back up and grow up a little bit further. Not really grow, but just recover and strengthen back up. So it's just a lot of going in and guessing and weeding and getting my clippers where I can. If I can't get to the branch, then I can't get to the branch. I'm not gonna sit there and fight with it. I'll eventually get to it as it goes a little bit more. I'll be able to know which other ones I can take and what it looks like. But for now, we're gonna get it to where I want it, and for this time, and where I'm happy with it at this time, and then we'll come back to it later. I know it looks like I'm butchering it, which I kind of am. So that's by design, because I want to get it down to where I want it, so that way next year it's just going to be a little bit more cutting, and it'll be just keeping it trimmed up. I want this to grow up a little bit and keep all the leaves at the bottom, but still ball out at the top. So that's what I'm working on, getting rid of some of the weight, getting rid of some of the dead stuff, some of the dying stuff, clearing up a lot of the crossovers, and just going to let them encourage themselves to grow at the top and out. So we're just going to go ahead and keep finishing this up. This will kind of wrapping up this one, fighting with a few things. I think I ended up leaving a couple branches in there that I couldn't get out, so they'll die off and I'll take care of it later. We're going to go ahead and move into this other tree. It's actually got those branches I'm taking off are into the electrical cord and also on the house. There ends up being one more that I didn't get on video. I was struggling with some of my heat sensor and stuff like that on a few things, so I took this one off because it's just hanging over, but that's where we're at. So I just want to say thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment. Dislike it, that's fine too, but leave a comment and let me know what I can do better. Alright, thank you, have a wonderful day.